Everybody's getting ready to hike out. They said we gotta have 10 days supply. Better stop putting my trust in these and put this GoPro away. I already had one nasty slip and fall today. So my phone got wet in a river crossing yesterday, and I couldn't charge it last night. It kept saying liquid detected, charging not available. It had a emergency override. I waited till this morning and I started to try to do that emergency override, but it still wasn't charging. But I was at 38, now I'm at 40. So I finally got it to accept the charge. So we'll see. I still have quite a bit to pack up here before I head out. It's raining this morning. I wasn't expecting it to. That is not water getting blown out of trees. That's definitely rain. Got somebody over here running a chainsaw. Holy shit. I'm going to assume somebody knows about this and I don't have to report it. I'm interested in checking the Far Out app later to read about this. Overcast day. It was raining when I got up. Around 4:35. Probably stopped. I can't take any chances walking on this rock. Probably stopped raining around 6. I left camp about 6:15. Long side trail, Blue Blaze. I was back on the AT at 6:30, but just working on traction all day. Finally gonna practice what I preach and put the phone away when I say I'm putting the phone away. Because these rocks are the most dangerous. Out of all the different dangerous things, these have gotten me many times. So this is supposed to be the bad one, but it didn't really rain last night, just a little bit this morning and sprinkling off and on. So, I mean, it's getting fed. There's water running into it all over the place, but I don't know, we'll see how deep it is. It's wide, that sucks. So if it were deep, you're out there for a minute. But I think yesterday's Long Pond was worse, and this is Pleasant Pond. And who names these? Clearly this is an unpleasant water crossing. Okay. No one wants to see me in my tent, but it's been a while. No one wants to watch me eat dinner either, but I'm doing two things at once. So first, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that, but outside the tent, pretty much since 6:30, 6:45, it's 7:45 now, the bird had a little reprieve. But once you hear
once you hear him whistle, "Nice to meet you," I could be going crazy, but you can never unhear it. "Nice to meet you too, birdie." So that's what he was saying the whole time I was setting up my tent. Then he took a break. Now he's back. I am at some campsite, but today was a day. So it's not about where I ended up. It's about where I started and how I got here. It was a day. There's a lot to unpack, so I figured I'd shoot a quick video. We're already 1:25 in, and I haven't said anything except for the bird saying "nice to meet you." Some campsite, I went like 19 miles. I chose not to just go 17 because it was just after 5 o'clock. It was like 5:06 when I was at that last shelter. Now I felt like I made a mistake because once I started climbing to the top of the mountain, it was pouring harder than it had all day, and I got soaked. But it stopped raining miraculously when I got to this campground, and I was able to set up my tent relatively dry. The footprints soaked from hiking with it, but the tent's set up pretty good. Doesn't look like anything's touching anything for now, so no condensation. Everything for the most part is dry. Anyway, so I wanted to go 24, but I got here at like 6:30, 6:45, and it's over 5 miles to the next shelter, and I don't want to hike till 9 or 10 o'clock. I was already cold and wet, and 2 miles, I'm not leaving them on the table. So I was at the other shelter too early. The 2 miles were there for the taking. I hiked another hour and a half. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Maybe not, maybe. But, I hiked till 6:30 instead, and I got another 2 miles. And it was a climb, so I don't have to do that tomorrow morning. I'm sure I'll be climbing something else. But as soon as I got on the trail this morning, I got fooled by a baby deer. And it was just in the moment because there was a baby deer lying down in the middle of the trail. In hindsight, I know they do this, but it was just lying there with its eyes open, and I thought it was fatally wounded. And I got so sad because I didn't think I could help it. I was about 21 miles into the 100-mile wilderness, and I'm no deer whisperer. It's a baby deer. I couldn't carry it. I hiked 19 miles today. I'm still not even in the middle of the 100-mile wilderness. So I'm looking at this deer lying down with a rock like right near its jaw. Looked really uncomfortable. So I moved the rock, and it's just lying there. And then I start tapping near it, and I'm like, "You look fine. Get off the trail. Get off the trail." I tapped about 5, 10 times. I don't know how many times. And finally, it just got up. It was a real baby. I mean, pretty big size. I've never seen one that close, but it was a baby because it got up, and you could see its legs kind of wobble, and then it took off, and it got its legs underneath it, and it gave a bah, like calling for its mom or telling me to F off, probably calling for its mom. But then I remembered that's what they do. It just chose a really bad spot. So the moms leave them alone, and they're supposed to just lie down in the grass. I don't know how this one got on the trail. Maybe it saw me and just lied down there playing dead. I'd like to think its mom left him and is coming back because that's what they say. I mean, the fawn could be alone. I don't know why it was wandering around on the trail. But it was just lying in the middle of the trail. And then after I tapped near its head a few times, telling it to get off the trail, miraculously it listened to me. Not too many people do, so. But that made me happy. And I remember a baby deer did that to me before. I was walking down the trail. Deer must have been on the right. As soon as I got past it, it took off, and all I saw was a white spotted little tiny butt. And I was like, "Oh, look at that." And then somebody had explained to me they just are left there in the morning and at night by their moms or something, and they just lie down in the grass to avoid predators, and if they feel threatened they can take off. But the deer this morning just really needs to work on that, because the trail, you stick out like a sore thumb. You can't lie in the middle of the trail. It's not going to work. So I also saw 7 sobos. Big day for sobos. Getting closer to Katahdin, and the sobos, they're out there. Katahdin's been open since the end of May. I can't remember exactly when they opened up, but 26th, 27th. Gonna have a nice quiet night in my tent. I want to get up super early and have a big day tomorrow, but we'll see.